Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Rushil Decor Ltd Q2FY25 Investors Conference Call hosted by Asian Market Securities Limited. This conference call may contain forward-looking statements about the company, which are based on the beliefs, opinions, and expectations of the company as on date of this call. These statements are not the guarantees of future performance and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. Actual results may differ from such expectations, projections, etc., whether expressed or implied. Participants are requested to exercise caution while referring to such statements and remarks. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Karan Bhatelia from Asian Market Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks, Del. A very good afternoon and welcome all to the Rushil Decor 2Q FY25 earnings conference call hosted by Asian Market Securities. From the management side, we have with us Mr. Rushil Decor, Executive Director, Q2FY25 CEO, and Hiren Bhai, CFO.
तुम्ही ज्या व्यक्तीशी बोलत आहात त्याने तुमच्या कॉलला होल्ड.
I now hand over the call to Rushil Bhai for his opening remarks. Thank you and over to you.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Karan. Could you please say that sentence once again? You kept your call on hold.
I now hand over the call to Rushil Bhai for his opening remarks. Thank you and over to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Rushil Decor Ltd earnings conference call for the second quarter ended 30th September 2024. I would like to extend my gratitude to Asian Market Securities for organizing this call and to all participants for joining us today. I am joined by Mr. Q2FY25, our CEO, and Mr. Hiren Bhai, our CFO. We have shared and uploaded the investors' presentations on the exchanges, and we hope you have reviewed the material. Let's begin with an overview of our performance for Q2 financial year 2025. Starting with our MDF segment, we recorded a total volume of 72,013 cubic meters, marking a strong 19.2% increase year over year. Although there was a slight decline of 2.8% quarter over quarter, exports volume remained robust with a 27.6% increase year over year. This performance, coupled with improved realization in our export market, contributed positively to our financial outcome this quarter. Notably, value-added MDF products accounted for 54% of division's revenue, reinforcing our focus on high-margin segment. Turning to the laminate segment, we achieved a total volume of 751,670 sheets, showing resilience despite a challenging environment. While the total volume declined by 2.9% year over year, our exports volume held steady, demonstrating the strength of our international market positioning. Blended realization for the laminate increased year over year by 20.8% in domestic market, although the realization saw some pressure, decreasing 2.6% in exports. On the operational side, our Chikmagalur unit, which manufactured MDF boards, is scheduled for a planned maintenance shutdown. This routine procedure conducts every 3 to 4 years and is essential to maintaining operational efficiency, enhancing the product quality and assuring sustained capacity utilization over 100% for next couple of years. Our efforts to expand the production capacity and international reach are progressing as planned. The Jumbo Laminate project in Gandhinagar, although delayed due to machinery supply issues and unexpected rainfall, is now on track for operations by the end of Q4 2025. This facility will contribute an additional 2.8 million sheets annually, positioning us to enter to the growing jumbo laminate market effectively. Additionally, we established a step-down subsidiary in Singapore to better serve the Southeast Asia market, a step we anticipate will strengthen our international footprints and drive revenue growth in the region. Our participation in European exhibitions this quarter has already generated promising inquiries, paving the way for expanded opportunities in the global market. In conclusion, our commitment to sustainable growth is unwavering, evidenced by our agroforestry initiatives that supports our raw material supply chain and benefits local communities. I am looking forward to lead Rushil Decor through this growth phase, leveraging our management team capabilities and strategic directions to deliver sustained value of our stakeholders. Thank you for the attention, and I will now hand over the call to our CFO, Mr. Hiren Padhya, who will provide you the further details on the financial performance. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Rushil. I am pleased to present an overview of our company's financial performance for the second quarter and first half of FY25. For Q2FY25, our revenue from operations amounted to rupees 2,304 million, reflecting a 12.6% year-on-year growth and a 2.4% increase from previous quarter. EBITDA for the quarter was rupees 296 million, showing a year-on-year growth of 2.4% with an EBITDA margin of 12.9%. Profit after tax was 154 million, representing an 11.9% increase year-over-year, and profit after tax stood at 114 million, marking a 7.9% increase. The PAT margin for the quarter was 4.9%. Excluding the impact of forex losses, EBITDA for the quarter 2 would stand at rupees 324 million with an enhanced EBITDA margin of around 14%, while profit before tax would be rupees 183 million, yielding a PBT margin of 7.9%. This adjustment underscores the strength of our core operational performance despite currency volatility. For the first half of FY25, revenue from operations total rupees 4,555 million, a strong year-on-year growth of 14.6%. Our EBITDA for the half year was 553 million, though down by 4.3% year-on-year, with an EBITDA margin of 12.1%. Profit before tax for H1 FY25 stood at 320 million, up by 6% compared to H1 FY24. The profit after tax for the half year was rupees 238 million, reflecting a 4.6% increase year-on-year, and PAT margin was at 5.2%. In our MDF segment, Q2 revenue reached rupees 1,717 million, a year-on-year increase of 14.8%, which was driven by a 27.6% in export volume. The MDF segment's EBITDA was rupees 226 million with a margin of 13.2%, highlighting strong operational performance. For the half year, MDF revenue stood at rupees 3,409 million, 15% year-on-year increase with an EBITDA at rupees 436 million and an EBITDA margin of 12.8%. In the laminate segment, Q2 revenue was 503 million with an EBITDA of rupees 65 million and EBITDA margin of 12.9%. For the H1 FY25, laminates contributed rupees 974 million to revenue. That was the growth of 7.5% year-on-year, and achieved an EBITDA of rupees 107 million with an 11% margin. Our laminate export market continued to show resilience with stable demand and consistent contribution to overall revenue. To mitigate forex exposure, we have implemented currency hedging strategies from this quarter, focusing on maintaining stability in our export revenue despite market fluctuations. This approach is designed to protect against unfavorable currency shift and support steady margin performance. Our financial position remains strong with continued improvement in our capital structure. The net debt to equity ratio is now at 0.44, which is reflecting our ongoing leveraging efforts. In summary, we are focused on enhancing our operational efficiency and capitalizing on growth opportunities in both domestic and international markets. We appreciate the ongoing support of our stakeholders as we work towards sustainable growth and profitability. Thank you for your attention. That concludes my remarks. I would like now to open the floor for questions and answers.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. First question is from the line of Praveen Shea from PL India. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for opportunity and good set of numbers. Sir, my first question is related to the MDF segment. The realization, if I look at on a sequential basis, QOQ, it has increased. Is that an element of a price hike in that, in the MDF segment?
Yeah, just recently we took price hike, first price hike. No, last quarter we didn't take any price hike, I'm sorry.
Okay, but sequentially, if I look at your realization, were up sequentially in both export as well as domestic market. So,
no, last quarter the domestic price were consistent, but I believe
the export price has increased 1,000 rupees per CBM in realization, and the main growth was achieved because we did the 54% of value addition product, and
okay.
That was the key area why the realization per CBM increased quarter over quarter.
And one more thing, the proportion of value added and product mix was different in last quarter. So if you see local realization, it was around I believe 27,000 rupees. Compared to last quarter, it was 25,000.
Okay. Okay. And if you can comment on the timber pricing currently in the north and the south market.
So currently timber pricing for our last quarter remained constant as we had a stock available with us for the production. So our timber prices have not yet taken a hike this last quarter. Talking about the pricings, yes, the pricings have slightly increased in this quarter for us, and probably the market in north has also increased, got the increased timber price as well. I don't have the exact guidance to be told now, but yes, I can say that yes, the price has increased.
And you also had taken a price hike in the current quarter.
Yeah, in current quarter, last Saturday, we have already given a price hike of around 2 to 7% depending on product to product.
Okay. And if you can also give some indication about the timber import in the country, because if I look at the ministry data, that is significantly down till August is more than 50% down. So what's so far you are looking at, and is that helping you to ramp up your southern plant?
So just your question is about the import of MDF or import of timber?
Yeah, import of MDF, sir.
No, it's not there. Right now the import of MDF is not much what it used to be 2 quarters before because of the freight cost.
Okay, okay, and that's helping you to ramp up your southern plant.
Yes.
And on the laminate side, the realization up by 20.8% domestic realization. What are the reason for that?
Mainly it's because of only product mix. Because laminate, we have a several product mix, lower thickness, higher thickness, Gulf market, export market. So it's all about lower product mix.
So we expect this domestic realization to be maintained at this level in the coming quarters as well?
There is no price change in domestic, so we are going to have good price realization in coming days.
Okay, okay. And last question, sir, related to the receivable, which has increased, if I look at on the YOY side. So is that related to the export largely, or how is that?
No, I think export, generally we have either LC or advance. So if export, we generally don't have much outstanding. In terms of domestic, yes, there is some increase, but it is, I think, one-off. Maybe next quarter, I think, again, it will be in the, I think, normal scenario.
Okay, okay, got it, sir. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Keshav Lahoti from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for the opportunity. So the price hike in MDF, which you have indicated about 2 to 7%. Firstly, what is the sense whether this hike will sustain in market and whether there are more, hikes we should expect in the coming quarters? Secondly, whether all the players have participated in hike and the hike is in a similar range? And lastly, 2 to 7% is a very, broad range. So can you give a sense at a blended basis how much will this work out to be?
Yeah, we believe that price hike is essential for the industry because of the raw material pricings. So I'm sure even in last couple of weeks, we saw price increase from 2 or 3 companies also. So we are sure that this will happen. If we take about average price benefit, it will be probably 3%.
Okay, understood. And what would be the sense possibly now, green panel plant would be coming in the south, so whether the players will maintain discipline, how do you see that?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem because prices, right now the import cost is high and domestic players are also facing the raw material price increase. So we believe there won't be much price won't be much affected.
Got it. Last question on the laminate business side, the new plant which would be coming by Q4. So how is the Europe and US market? How is the demand and supply mix? And this quarter, the laminate margin were like 13%. So is it sustainable? And how is the laminate raw material cost moving?
So talking about the market, yes, we are getting the positive response from the market. Like we have already signed a contract in Italy. We have already signed the contract with customers for Russia. And we have been opening up the new territories like El Salvador, Puerto Rico, etc., etc. So yes, the market for us is going to be a huge, as this is a fresh market for us to start with. Talking about the raw material side, as of now, we don't see a raw material hike in raw material price hike in any of the laminate business. So it seems that it will be stable as of now.
Understood. Got it. Just squeezing one last question. So generally your laminate, my understanding is export margin should be better than your domestic margin. What would that difference be? And now as the new plant will come up, your export mix will improve higher. So that will also lead to better margin in the upcoming quarters.
So basically, in exports, there are too many applications on which they are dependent on, like for the toilet vehicles, locker rooms, exterior facades, which in India is still growing slowly. Because of which these jumbo laminates are big, and even the countertops of the kitchen. These are the bigger markets on which these all big sizes are being played, and as this is all a compact laminate set, so it is going to be more than 2 millimeters plus, and these are all a highly priced product. So our realization, yes, would increase in laminate, and it will go into double digit, or it can go slightly higher than that also.
Understood. And lastly, what is your laminate domestic and export margin, the broader number?
The laminate for the last couple of years, we have been just hovering over margin of around 6 to 9%. Recently, for the last 3-4 quarters, it has gradually being increased in terms of percentage to around 12 to 13%. Now, after having this new project into place, the overall margin will definitely improve because the jumbo product has a margin of in the range of 14 to 16%. And the way we are, I think, planning next financial year will definitely have sizable turnover in terms of this particular product. So, so far, export versus domestic, export has a better margin, that is for sure. Considering today's position, out of total sales, around 65% is export. So, how much is lower than export is we can't say because it again depends upon the exact composition of product. But definitely it is better than domestic. So today's margins are improving. That is first point. And secondly, after having this new project, which is solely for the purpose of export and with better margin. So overall, I can say that next financial year, laminate will have not only better top line, but margin will also further improve compared to current year's margin.
Okay, understood. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Rishikesh from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is that currently we have 45% of volume mix in MDF, and by FY26 we are targeting 60%. So can we meet the volumes from the existing capacity, or would we need any capex?
No, we don't need any more capex, and I think we are going very well. Right now we are almost like 54% of value and 44% of volume.
Post FY26, in next 2 to 3 years, do you see any further capex post FY26?
Yeah, so we are evaluating some of the new products as well. So once we evaluate it, we'll let the market know about it for the further expansion on the MDF side or the other side.
Okay. And just one more question. Can you share the EBITDA margins for value-added MDF and non-value-added MDF?
See, I don't think we will be able to give you that answer because see, in value-added also it is not one product. It has got a couple of groups of product. So I can say normal realization is supposed in the range of 24,000-25,000. Here in value-added it would be in the range of 29,000 to 30,000. In specific cases it can go up to 33,000-35,000 also. But exactly we can't say. But it is definitely higher than the normal margin. Maybe I think 20%, 30% depending upon the exact product.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants that you may press star and 1 to ask a question. Participants who wish to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Rishabh Mathura from Anandarati Share and Stock Brokers. Please go ahead. Mr. Rishabh, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So just to understand the dynamics, where are we in the MDF industry at this point of time? Will margin look upward of 20% plus, or will it remain at these levels at the industry level? Because I think you mentioned imports are not there happening because of trade issue. But once trade issue gets resolved, are the chances of import getting back in the Indian country and thereby hampering the domestic trade? So your thoughts or colors on those fronts?
Okay, see, MDF overall market is definitely good, but coming to margins, last year margin, which was, I mean, talking about 20% plus, was one-off. So considering today's position and considering last couple of quarters, I mean, review in terms of timber pricing and the import scenario and a couple of other things, I would say in terms of Rushil, definitely there are a couple of things which is good in terms of margin. First is like our export obligation is already completed. So now we have got option to get order with better margin, which was not there before one quarter. Secondly, capacity utilization wise, we are now in the range of 85% plus, and any additional capacity utilization will give better margin. Third, value-added proportion is being increased every quarter. That will further add margin. Fourth is like we have already started with price hike. Fifth, next year, February again the BIS standard is going to be implemented. That is what we have been hearing as of now. So considering all this aspect, we in Rushil definitely believe that margin what we have as of now will definitely improve. That is for sure. But 20% is I don't see as of now. We would like to just maintain that overall MDF margin, which we are thinking so whatever we have achieved as of now, 13 to 14%, which we will maintain for this financial year. Way forward, I think it is too early to say.
Also, I would like to add thing like import is only 10% of industry's capacity. So it's just not a big thing. Second thing, today value-added thing that is not happening in import. Import is just plain vanilla kind of a thing.
Got it.
After COVID, there is a two market. One is import market, which is cost-effective, low-cost kind of a thing, and another one is a quality product market, where all Indian players are there.
So just to get a sense, what would be the growth rate in terms of value-added MDF and plain MDF in India? Because imports only hampering the plain MDF market.
If you see our AP plant, last quarter our value-added volume was around 35%. This quarter we are almost 37%. And we also wish to reach to 50% of this capacity. So, I mean, value-added business is day by day growing.
Okay. And this is the same for other players also who are expanding capacity, most likely?
Yes, everyone is focusing on value-added because some of the products are well accepted in the market, which are indirectly replacing expensive plywood.
Okay. And in terms of our distribution network, how are we placed in terms of plywood, laminate, and MDF? Is it a single distribution network or these are different?
We don't have an exclusive network. We have a very selective network. So in one state we have a couple of distributors, and further they distribute the product to dealers. It's the same model in laminates also. Like we have one or two or three distributor in mega cities, and we have a B town, C town, all we have a channel partners.
Okay. So different product, different distributor. I mean the same distributor is not distributing laminate and MDF together.
So even in this channel, nowadays, dealers, retailers, they sell everything, laminate.
Correct. Okay. I'll come back in the queue if I have further questions.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Amit Purohit from Lara Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And just want to understand on the demand environment, how do you see that for the both laminates and MDF? While MDF growths have been very good, but overall consumption demand for the plywood or wood panel space, your comments on that?
So we see good demand, like if we compare our H1 23, it was like 119 CBM and 1.19 lakh CBM, and this quarter, this half year, we are almost 1.47 lakh. So we see quite a good growth, and industry itself is growing at around 20% CAGR. So that's a good sign. I'm talking about MDF. And for laminate also, yes, if we talk about last year, it was like our volume was 13.82 lakhs. This quarter it is 15 lakh plus volume. So we are growing in, half year to half year also, as well as realization point of view.
Right. And sir, on the price increase that you indicated, and you also indicated that other players have also taken. So these, even the larger players would have taken price increase,
Yes.
or
Yes. Yes.
of the similar tune,
Yes.
you say?
Yes.
And okay. And there was general discussion in the industry that the smaller players have also taken price increase. So broadly, most of them has taken price increase, right?
Yeah, because it's inevitable because of the raw material pricings.
Sure. Both in north as well as in south market.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And from you indicated timber prices have also gone up. Is that, if I'm not wrong, you went it on a YOY basis or sequentially also they have gone up?
So compared to Q1 and Q2, yes, the prices have gone up.
How much it would be, sir? Pricing?
Roughly around, if I say at this point of time, if we calculate out in October, it's around 2-3% range.
Okay. Okay. Sure. And this is for both for us for both the markets. It would be right, north and we are largely south, right, for the MDF.
Plants in south only, so this is just for the south.
Sure. Okay. And what do you think on the outlook for timber, sir? Do you expect this to correct in the next calendar year, or how do you think about the industry shaping up?
This is a cycle basically.
Sure.
So when there is a scarcity, it's like a demand supply. So when the demand is high, the prices go up. Because as this year it's gonna be regrowing, so for next 2 years the prices will be very inevitable. But on the third year, when the ample number of timber will be available in the market, yes, the prices will start falling down at that point of time.
Okay. So next year also prices should remain stable, or you think for the next 2 years you are indicating prices should remain stable or slightly increase?
It should be in this range as of now.
Okay. 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 Got it. That's it from my side. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next question is the line of Rishabh Bothra from Anandarati Shares and Stock Brokers. Please go ahead.
Hello. For understanding sake, I think wanted to know the rationale of why we moved into plywood. I think we were more so into MDF and laminates. Is it because of the size of the industry, or because globally MDF is a key market? Plywood is slightly 10-20%, the 80% is MDF. And India is also, MDF is picking up. And automation is there. In plywood there is less of automation. So just wanted your thoughts, why did we move into plywood?
This is, you can say this is a kind of a marketing strategy for us. Because we were not able to get the exclusivity from our distributors for not having a plywood. So this is just a marketing strategy.
Okay.
That we set up a plywood plant so that we can have an exclusivity from our distributors and channel partners. And yes, the industry is still the bigger one in India, and we like to cater the part of it.
Because competition in plywood, I guess, is quite higher than as compared to other product categories.
Yeah,
but a lot of unorganized players also.
Yeah. So what matters is the quality of plywood what you serve in the market.
Right.
Those are very few players with the brand name who serve the good plywood in the market, and we want to be one of them.
Okay. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The question is from the line of Hina Vora from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity. 2 questions from my end. So the first one would be on the price hike that we spoke about in MDF, right? I just wanted to understand, do we see the industry taking another round of price hikes? Because from what I understand is this 3% average hike will still not be enough to cover the timber inflation pressures, right?
Yes, you are right. We are also considering the second round of price hike.
So when can we expect this, sir? Around December or maybe in the fourth quarter when maybe the BIS norms also, keep imports restricted to a certain level?
Yeah, at Rushil, we really want to implement faster. So first hike probably will implement in November. And we'll take the second hike as early as possible.
Sure. And the second question was around timber prices. I just wanted to understand from your point of view, when do you see these timber prices coming off? Is there any indication that it would be in the, first half of the next fiscal, or will this probably prolong further? And also, are we seeing any other industries which are also in play to get the timber, like the paper industry, if they're being aggressive, or something of that sort?
So the timber prices for our region is what we see is as I mentioned in the earlier question, this is a cycle. When the cycle is about to begin, the prices of wood are always seen on the higher side. Once the cycle is about to complete, there is a excess timber available in the market, so the prices of at that point of time, timber goes down. As this is the beginning, so we are expecting a hike, and that I already told about 2 to 3%. And yes, in upcoming years, we are seeing a slightly downfall in the timber when the cycle is about to complete. At the same point of time, we have been harvesting trees across the states for making sure we have our raw material with us for future as well. So that is also a part of strategy.
Sure. So, but is there any timeline that we see from when the timber, prices will start to decline per se, or would they remain elevated for a few more quarters?
As of now, I cannot give that guidance because I really don't see a forecast reaching over there at that point of time, because there are other plants will also be starting at that point of time in next 3 years. So I don't see I'm not able to forecast what is going to be the market scenario after 3 years.
Understood. So, but it is fair to assume that we are still probably a year away from timber pricing, starting to decline.
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you repeat?
But I was just saying, it is fair to assume that we are at least 4 or 6 quarters away from timber prices, starting to decline.
No, the prices of timber what are currently running is the prices what you should assume for future as well, because taking it conservatively is rightly a good thing than taking it aggressively.
Correct. Okay, sure. Thank you. This is about it.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rishikesh from Robo Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the follow-up. Just had one question. If you could please share some outlook on debt.
Okay. See, if you see last 2-3 years overall figures, we have two things. One, last year as a part of right issue, we have reduced debt of around 55 crore, which was unsecured loan converted into equity. And on a yearly basis, we have been repaying around 50 to 55 crore. So practically last 2 years, we have reduced debt to the extent of almost 110 plus 55, around 170, considering these 2 quarters. So gradually this will further reduce, and considering 2 projects which are already being executed. First is Jumbo, where we have already tied up in terms of fundraising, so there is no debt is required. Second, in terms of ply, the total capex value is for even next year is around 40-42 crore, out of which our share would be 20-21 crore, which we will I think plan internally only. So considering this 2 new project which is being implemented, we don't require any fund or any debt. So practically whatever debt is there as of now, this will further reduce every quarter, yearly 50-55 crore.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Hemant, who is an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Providing with the opportunity, I have two-part question. First question is, which I wanted to ask is, plant shutdown is mentioned in the press release. Okay. So can you please highlight on the same and maybe elaborate on the same? When will be the plant shutdown and for how many days and what will be the revenue loss?
So plant will be typically shut down for 10 to 12 days, and this is a general breakdown. So in which some parts which has to be changed, due to which the fiber losses and other losses are not made. This is to prevent that. So typically this is a general process, and every 3 to 4 years every plant goes under this process. As too much of metallurgy is included in this machinery, it is compulsion to take this, and this always helps us to boost our production capacities for next couple of years.
So sir, when will it be, and what kind of revenue loss is expected?
So it will start from Deepavali first day, and revenue losses as of now we don't see much of them, because we will be preparing the stocks ahead of it before taking off the shutdown.
So from Diwali to 10-12 days, right? So 10-12 November, I think it will be over, right?
Yes.
And we don't see much, significant revenue loss, right?
Oh, no, we don't see any significant revenue loss out of this, because we have already started maintaining our inventories for that.
And sir, one more thing which I wanted to ask is, since our jumbo size laminate plant, which was supposed to become commissioned in Q2, has now been postponed to Q4. So is it fair to assume that there will be a muted FY25? Is it fair to assume that we will not be having any much kind of revenue growth in FY25 as compared to FY24?
Yeah, I agree to that. So
we expect 10 to 15% revenue growth. If you see our last year turnover, and if you compare with this year from 4, I think that's a significant growth from half year to half year. So we do believe that there will be around 10 to 15% revenue growth, 8 to 10%.
For laminate business?
No, altogether.
Altogether.
So altogether 10 to 15% revenue growth on a consolidated basis, right?
Yeah.
And what is the sir expected margin, EBITDA margin?
EBITDA margin for laminate business would be standing from, I think.
Just a minute.
No, sir, I'm talking about overall on a consolidated basis.
So if we consider financial year FY25, so this quarter it is around 13%, but overall it is in the range of 11 to 12%. So considering the fact that this particular financial year new project revenue will be hardly anything, it will be negligible. So we will maintain this margin of around 12% this financial year. But yes, next financial year, after considering this new project, which has got approximate margin of 14 to 16%, so considering that part, the next year margin will be better than current year margin.
Also, just want to add, last half year our turnover was around 397 crore. This half year we are almost 452 crores. So it's almost 13.85% growth.
Okay. So basically, just to sum it up, sir, 10 to 15% revenue growth for FY25 on a consolidated basis, with EBITDA margin of around 12%.
That's what
yes.
we are targeting.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. We have reached the end of our Q&A session. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you all for joining us today and for your continued interest in Rushil Decor. We are excited about the path ahead and remain committed to delivering consistent growth and value in the coming quarters. As we approach this festive season, we would like to extend our warmest Diwali wishes to everyone on the call. May this Diwali bring prosperity, joy and success to each of you. For any further questions, please feel free to reach out to our investor relation team at Churchgate Partners. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Asian Market Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.